Hey, peace and blessings, everyone. You're now locked in with the baddest chaplain on the globe, Chris B. Want to thank you so much for subscribing to us on YouTube. You're on baddestchaplain.substack.com. You're on Spotify. You're on Apple. You're everywhere that this podcast is available, which is on all platforms where podcasts are distributed. So thank you. And here today, we're here to talk Noblesse Apparel with Joshua Spence. So Josh, welcome to the podcast. How are you, man?
I'm feeling good, bro. How you doing?
Feeling good. You know, I'm always excited to talk. I feel like I underdressed. I got my Chili Peppers t-shirt on, you know,
No, don't
and
feel underdressed.
this brother came in sharp.
Presentation, man. Presentation.
The presentation. And I had on the tie before, I got home from church. I was like, no, I'm just gonna relax. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk some casual attire, but no, my brother came in sharp. The turtleneck on a billion.
You know, it's cold outside now. It's cold outside.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact.
Me, you know,
it dropped. We in October,
right?
And it's feeling like October. It's feeling very fallish.
It's giving weather machine. You know,
it's giving weather machine for real. The weather machine is acting up.
Right.
That's a fact, man. But you look good, and I'm so happy to be able to talk with you about this, man. So, take us through the journey, man. Like, what inspired you to create Noblesse Apparel? Like what was that? What was going on with you?
Noblesse Apparel. Okay, so back in 2015, an old friend of mine's, we went to college together. He actually created a brand called Anasupe, and he ended up going to his own route. I went to Nyack College, Christian college. Really just was in a space where I wanted to do my own thing as well. But I originally wanted to work with them, but we just had two different ideas and going in different directions. So I said, you know what? Let me create something that represents something I believe in. So it started off as code expression.
Okay.
Code expression was originally meant to just be like, you ever heard like code blue, code red?
Right.
I wanted it to be like code, express yourself, express who you are, express who God called you to be, express yourself fashion wise, right? That's the first thing people see, right? When they see you, they automatically see the shell. They see what you have on. They judge you by what you have on, how much money you have, things like that. And so I said, you know what? Let me create a Christ-centered brand. Right. And so I went through my rabbit hole, I would say, of just trying to make a Christian brand. And that wasn't successful, to be honest with you. You know, even Christians weren't buying my clothes. And so the thing about it is that as I went through my journey, code expression transformed into Flying Valuable Apparel. It was never LLC'd. I created a whole logo for it. Flying Valuable was legit what it means, what it's saying, like fly and valuable. I wanted to know you was fly and valuable in God's eyes, right?
Come on.
Like fashion wise, you can rock the best clothes. You could put the greatest pieces together. I could make you a graphic tee, you know, and it was simply a bird with the sun in the background. So this thing about the bird, when I think about birds, they're soaring, they're in the air, they're traveling distances, they're going through different types of weather. And so they go through a lot. We don't really see the journey of birds because we see them probably a couple of times a year in New York. And so, especially with pigeons, we don't even know. Like certain birds migrate to the warmer side of the planet,
right,
when it gets cold, and then they come back, right? But we don't notice none of these things, and so I just like birds too.
They're beautiful, majestic, even.
I like majestic.
You know what I'm saying? Like
birds.
Yeah.
But Flying Valuable, it was just too long of a name. The message was good, but the name, it wasn't transferable on clothes, right? I couldn't stamp Flying Valuable and people can read it. I was making the logo smaller so it could be on t-shirts and collar shirts, and people would be like, what does that say?
What's that? Yeah, you got the squint.
I said, Flying Valuable, right? And it was a great message, but I feel like where God had me at that point, and yes, I'm a Christian, right? But and so I said to myself, God, I don't feel like this is it, right? I don't feel like this brand is doing what it has to do. So I honestly stopped. I stopped for about a year. I did pop-up shops with various brands. I did a collab pop-up shop with Anasupe, which was great. Shout out to Rob James. And uh, it was a good way to just put myself out there, get to meet people, tell people things. People bought the clothes, right? I
Right?
made great money with this brand, but I never LLC'd it. And so I just hit a plateau. I said, God, like, what am I really doing here?
Yeah.
Right. Um, is this something that I really want to do for the rest of my life? Right.
Hmm.
Um, but I came to the conclusion throughout this last year, because I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do clothing anymore. I'm not going to do fashion. I'm going to just focus on work and just be a husband, work on my family, work on myself, do what I
Not
got.
bad things.
Not a bad thing, but I lost to. I also was sacrificing my creative side. Um, I
Talk about
love
that.
fashion. I love to dress. I love to see people wearing nice clothes. I like to see people happy. And I went through this time where I said, you know what? And I got Gucci glasses on. That's the funny part. I
Yeah.
saw I thought about Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and I love these brands. These brands are beautiful and great, but I don't even know nothing about the creator. I don't think the creators know me, right? I don't think the fashion designers know me, right?
Come
But they want
on.
to buy their clothes, $1,200, and those are not bad things. I think once you get into a certain space economically and you can afford it, go ahead and get it. Or if you can't
Hmm.
and you want to treat yourself, I think those are great, luxurious brands. I'm all for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wanted to create a brand where I could develop a relationship with my audience and my supporters. Obviously,
Hmm.
not face to face, right? I can't see 100 people face to face in one
Right. Right.
shot deal or create 100 relationships. But my point of making Noblesse Apparel was, God, I want to create something, God, that um, everybody is not gonna. We don't see around us, right? I want to create something different. What can I do differently? And I think the first thing I might think about is um, going towards a logo, right?
Hmm.
I might go towards a logo. And then I said, no, it's not the logo really. The logo's nice, but like brands like Nike and Adidas, right? The interesting stories behind how they got their names and things like that is interesting.
Come on.
Um, so I said, God, let me think about the name. But before I think about the name, let me first think about what I want. And I was going through a time where I was like, yo, people are phony. Nobody wants to be noble in character anymore. Nobody
Okay.
wants to uh, have integrity.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to snake somebody out. If you
Hmm.
don't benefit me here, I'm going to try to see how you can benefit me there. If you don't benefit me at all, you have no value to me. And
Right.
so it's interesting how code expression turned into flying viable now turned into noblesse apparel.
Right.
Noblesse is French for nobility, which is a class of people. A couple hundred years ago, is a class of people, and yes, they're French, but no stands for noble people, noblesse.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to create a brand where I'm encouraging people to be noble in character. I want to try to
Hmm.
bring that back again, um, as well as uh, I feel like Noblesse Apparel is going to become a movement because it's more than just fashion. It's more of a character issue that I'm addressing with the community,
Hmm.
specifically in New York City. I feel like we're just all just trying to use each other, trying to get something from each other. But it's like, man, can we just appreciate the fact that we're just alive, right? We went through
Come
the
on.
pandemic, right? We built relationships with ourselves, with people. You know, I just want to create a space for people where they could just um, be honest with who they are, right? As well as like just embracing a new part of life, just like
Hmm.
being noble in character. I feel
Yeah.
like it's very simple, but it's also a really hard concept to get across to a lot of people.
Because what you're saying, it made me think of a couple of things. One, the ways in which I remember this especially as like a school teacher, where you know a student or just walking and interacting, especially localizing it to New York City, localizing it to Brooklyn, people will look at your feet before they look at you in the eye.
Yeah.
And really, I'll never forget like teaching summer school one year, and one of my students quieted the room and said, "Give this man respect. He's wearing LeBrons." Like it's just like kind of like a way in which they thought about. And then we know, like especially in the communities that we come from, like
Mhm.
having great shoes on, like whether it's
Oh
Balenciagas,
yeah.
Gucci's,
Mhm.
whatever it is, gives people a deep sense of dignity. And what I'm hearing you say is kind of a flip. Is a sense of you know, I'm making clothing for people who have that dignity already. The clothing don't give you the dignity. The clothing is attached and is an outward expression of that inward dignity that's already present. Is that kind of like a fair sense of what you're trying to get across with Noblesse?
Honestly, I would say yeah. Um, and I would say it's more of it's a brand that's really in its most simple terms I could say, um, that's pushing for more of a positive side of people. Um, like, yo, bro, come over here, man. What are you doing? Let's have
Right,
some integrity. Let's treat our women with respect, right? Let's treat our men
yeah,
with respect, right?
right.
Let's watch out for each other, right? Let me not try to snake you out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I already have that dignity. I have the nice clothes. I could put the pieces together, but I I heard a pastor say, before you put on your collar, make sure that your soul is in alignment with God, because if you don't, it's like how do you say? He said, put up. He said, make sure before you put the collar, your soul is in alignment with God, because if you don't, if you put that on, if you put your collar on and your preacher robe without having that alignment with God, making sure that what's inside of you is straight with God and is good,
Yeah.
then you're just a phony.
Yeah,
You're just a
yeah,
phony, right? And so we've seen a lot of that in the church, right? We've seen a
yeah.
lot
Too
of
much of it.
phonies where we see a lot of money hungry people. We see a lot of people coming up with quick gigs, right? Quick businesses to just make money. All you can just smell and see on them is money.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I care about people.
No doubt.
I care about people. I'm also a social worker, right?
Hmm.
I work with youth in the prison system. I work with youth in the group homes. And so this is the message that I'm daily working out with myself too. Like, yo, you got a choice to be noble, or you don't have to be noble today, right? You can
Hmm.
be gracious and kind to those who are elderly, or you could
Yeah.
just let the door close on them when you're coming out of the supermarket, right? So
Right.
things like that is what gets me more motivated, because I'm seeing more and more like the days are becoming darker, right? And it's getting like a lot harder to find good people out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like if this brand is able to jump off, right, and able to this movement is able to really influence people to really pursue like the right things,
Hmm.
noble character. Um, I feel like we can have a better turn in society for certain people, especially for the young people.
Get you. Get you. Get you. Talk to me about how, from your sense of it, you sort of indirectly answered this, but I want to get a more head-on answer. How do you think fashion impacts society? Like is it really something where, let's say this brand takes off and it's the wave, people are really going to want to live better? Or is it going to become another way in which I feel like I'm better than you?
Hmm. So personally, um, I want to say, and I'm not going to try to answer this too quick. I want to say, for somebody to think that they're better than somebody is a heart issue. It's more of a heart issue than a fashion issue.
That's
Uh,
that's that's real. That's very real.
that comes from a space of pride.
Hmm.
And that's also secretly telling people like, yo, uh, I need you to see me because
Hmm.
I'm not being seen enough. And so I'm
Yeah.
going to make you feel bad because this is how I truly feel on the inside. You see, pride is interesting.
Hmm.
Pride will make us do things like uh, turn a brand that's meant to be positive for a negative turn.
Yeah.
I'm noble. I'm better than you. See, I'm holding the door. See, I'm doing these things. But those are also the same things that Pharisees did, right?
Hmm.
In the Bible, right? Pharisees were the same ones who were like, "Hey, I know all of this. I know all of these words. I know these scriptures. I know all of these things." And Jesus was like, "Yo, relax. Like,
Hmm.
you're human, right?
Hmm.
Embrace that part of yourself, right?
Hmm.
Um, be real with who you are, right? And also be humble about it, right? I think being in the position to be able to wear clothes from a brand that's really going for a positive point of view, we should have more of a we should have more of a reason to want to be in those positions of being
Hmm.
noble. Um, I think that the design specifically for Noblesse Apparel, I feel like is also pushing people towards wanting to do better for themselves. What I mean by that is, I created a few designs recently that was more, I wouldn't want to say church, but I want to say probably more Christ-centered designs. To be honest with you,
Okay.
um, for instance, I have a shirt that says the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few.
I peeped that one. Yeah, that was one I was liking.
Yeah, so specifically for that shirt, I was feeling in that time that we have a lot of work to do as the church. We have
No
a lot of
question.
work to do, but we don't have nobody who wants to serve. Everybody wants the mic. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to say a very powerful quote that they read in a book or that they heard from another preacher or somebody else from a podcast. And then they want to drop the mic on the crowd and then tell everybody, hey, you're a sinner. Hey, you're a sinner, right? Hey, these are the things that you need to do because I'm doing better than you. And everybody's on their own journey.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's on their own journey. I think it's really important to embrace where you are and who you are. Of course, with respect to, it not offending God and who he's called you to be, right? But we're going to fall, right? We're going to make mistakes. We're going to do certain things that's not good, right? And that's a part of being human, right? But then that other side is not just getting stuck in that space, but also being in a space where you're like, you know what? I can also make the changes too. I can also learn from the mistakes that I've made and apply those things to real life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
That's it. Well, what do you see your personal style as? Like, when you talk about like designing these different shirts and the different apparel, like how much of your style is going into it? Or is it just like something where it's more like prescriptive, where you're like, I think people will like this. It's not necessarily how I dress, but this is something I think people like. Like, is it a give or take, or is it a mixed bag? What is it?
I want to say this style that I have is targeted towards the youth and young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I create my clothes for all types of ages, races, cultures, right? This is not a Christian brand. To be exact, this is a secular brand. I am just a Christian who just is able to freely express himself through the art. Designs in this brand, and some of the art is not even like spiritual. Some of the art is not pointed to Christ. Some of the art is just because I like it, right?
Right.
And so I would say that, man, slipped me again. Can you ask that question?
That's all good. Just essentially asking about your style.
Okay.
How much of your style is going into it?
So I'm a jack of all trades. This is not how I dress every day, right? But I would say the style of the brand right now is hip hop streetwear.
Okay.
I would say it's more for like the relaxed crowd, more for people who just probably going on the Barnes and Nobles run, right? Or people who might be going out to a nice lounge for the night.
No doubt.
But you could wear my clothes throughout to anywhere really. But it's more of like relaxed, chilled, cozy, comforting.
Mm-hmm.
I also make candles. I also have sneakers. And so I have Converse. Well, it's not Converse, but it's in the same category of Converse. It's a shoe. You could wear it with suits. You could wear it with shorts. You could wear it with sweatpants. You could wear it with pretty much any outfit. And so, yeah, I make various different items because I'm also just an all-around person. I'm not trying to box myself in to just make t-shirts and socks and hats and things of that nature, but I'm also trying to just suit your needs. You might need a candle. It's candle season, right? It's getting cold. It's getting cold out. I got warm vanilla. I got all cinnamon and charcoal and oak wood and sandalwood and all of these great scents. And it's soy. I'm also for the vegan side of things too, just making sure that we consume something that we can actually eat, right? Soy is pretty healthy, and so I make soy candles as well.
Got you. Oh, nobody got that allergy. They be in that upper room with that soy candle, boy.
Well, you should be burning candles if you got allergies.
To be your last candle.
Yeah.
But those are amazing flavors, man. I sense rather. I really appreciate sandalwood smell myself. So hearing about that, I was like, okay. Basically, I'm saying all this stuff. I'm just quietly putting together my cart for Noblesse is really what's happening in the background here.
Yeah, I
Just
appreciate that.
putting
Yeah.
it together, man. Oh,
The,
no
the
doubt.
the thing that I'm thinking of, if you don't mind me sharing this, is
No, please.
I saw a shirt of a specific brand. I'm not gonna say the brand, and I saw a pentagram. And yes, I am against pentagrams, 100%.
Got you.
Those things are portals, right?
Got you.
But I saw it on a shirt. It was big, and
Yeah.
we live in a very spiritual world.
Right.
What you wear is also a representation of what you agree with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the message that you're giving out, right? Now,
Fair.
this is definitely the time where I'm going to tell people that through this platform that pentagrams is not safe to wear, right? It's representing
Mm-hmm.
Satan, is representing the kingdom of darkness, is not the thing to wear. Out of all the designs I've seen, skulls, things like that, pentagrams is one of the main things that we should not be wearing. That is also something that pushed me to create in a brand that said, yo, let me push for a positive message, right?
Right.
We wear all the latest trends. We wear the things that celebrities wear and things of that nature. But something that's very important is the message that we're giving off, right? Because some of the messages that we give off is not who we are, right? You're
Fair.
genuinely a nice person, sis. You're genuinely a nice person, bro. You know, you're an introvert, you're creative, you read books, you write, you know, you have a lifestyle, right? You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you have all of these things. You're a devout Christian, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then you're not aware that the clothes that you're wearing is actually portraying a message about someone you're not, you know?
Right. That's
So
fair.
that's also something that pushed me to create a Noblesse Apparel, you know, not trying to force people to be noble, not trying to push it on people like it's a track in the street. Hey, be noble, be noble. But
Right. 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 Right.
it's a soft approach to saying, hey, can we just be neighbors? You know, can we treat each other like humans? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I appreciate your emotions the way you appreciate mine?
Come on.
Right? Because I want people to treat me nice, but then I also want to be able to be in a position to treat somebody else nice. I think
That's
that's a
fair.
blessing that's underrated, to be in a
Right.
position to bless others. And
Fair.
so, and it doesn't always have to come in the form of monetary donations or food or you know, things like that. But I feel like being able to just even giving somebody an opportunity to just have, hey, here's a free shirt, you know, that encourages them. You know, the message on the shirts that I create encourages people, and so
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's fair. Do you have any plans for a brick and mortar location, or
I
do you think you're
do.
gonna stick to online? Okay, you do.
I do. So the plan, honestly, I'm not gonna say when, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But that definitely that's in the works. We just launched this year in June, um, officially in New Jersey, and so we're in Woodbridge, New Jersey, and so yeah, there's definitely going to be a brick and mortar spot specifically in Woodbridge very soon.
Very cool. Well, offline, let me know when that is, and I definitely want to pop up and be a
Yeah.
part of that, man. That's special.
Shout outs to my people online though. You can order from Virginia anywhere you are.
Hundred
I
percent
have an online website, you know.
worldwide.
Worldwide, you know, and
Worldwide.
so definitely I'm able to reach. It's international, you know. My brand also ships out internationally. Um, so yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up. What's a moment in this season that made you really grateful or just feel like in awe?
deep question. It's a deep question.
This is all we do over here, man.
It's a deep question. Um, hmm. So a moment of awe. I would say yesterday. Really, uh,
Okay.
I was on a hiatus with my wife, and we were around some friends of some family and friends of ours.
Hmm.
Um, and I showed one of my sisters my website for the first time. You know, I've also
Hmm.
been in the space of just being timid sometimes, you know, just not
Yeah,
knowing how to present the brand, to be honest with
that's
you.
fair.
Looking
That's
for
fair.
people to also help me market this brand has been also one of the challenges that we faced in the last few
Right.
months. I'm not going to get on here and pretend like the brand is booming, right?
No,
Um,
we honest and vulnerable here.
but at the same time, I'm also looking for people who are dedicated to the cause, the vision, people who um, will make time for this brand, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to consume your life, but just to devote a small amount of time to your life. I showed her the website, and her response was like, "Yo, bro, this is really beautiful."
All
But
right.
why didn't you tell me earlier? I'm ordering a candle now. And it kind of blew my mind because I was like, wait, I'm getting support. And I think that's
Come
also something that
on.
speaks to me personally, where
Of course.
I'm in the space of saying, okay, and accepting the fact that, there are people out there who will support me,
Yeah.
right? To not look at who didn't support, right? But to also just appreciate, like, I also have the ability to be supported by people, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that does talk to trauma, right? Of not always being supported through life,
No
right?
doubt about it.
Definitely not expecting people to support is coming from a space of not receiving that support in a lot of times in my
Right.
life.
Right.
But that was just a moment where I was able to reflect, but then at the same time it was just like, wait, like this is able to she was influenced in a matter of seconds,
Mm-hmm.
just by seeing the logo. The famous question I got is, why do you have a bird walking with a bag? And again, I like birds, right?
Provocative. It gets
But
the
the
people
bird
going.
walking with the bag is a representation of a tranquil person, right? Or walking with purpose, right? The
Yeah.
bag represents a tool bag, right? There are different things in everybody's tool bag,
Come on.
and the bird's posture is very straightforward, direct. The bird knows where it's going. And so that's also something about birds that I've always thought was weird. You don't have any type of GPS system, but you know how to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of feel like that's how God is with me. He's like, yo, follow me, and we're not gonna hear a GPS sound just go off and like, hey, come this way.
Yeah,
You know,
make a left. Right.
right, make a left, right? But by the leading of his spirit, right, we're
Yeah.
able to be led by him, right?
Right.
And then we find ourselves in spaces where we're like, I don't know how I got here, right? And I'm pretty
All the
sure a lot
time.
of people who are listening in today and who will listen in is probably gonna be like, man, I don't know how I got here, right? Thinking about it, right? It's really God who got you here. And
Mm-hmm.
so there are a lot of symbolism and imagery that this brand comes with. And then I also want to give you an opportunity to think further about the brand. I want to
Yeah.
leave those cliffhangers for people so that they can be able to think about it for a second and be able to make it more personal for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hear that, man. I hear that. So I ask this question of all my guests. Love this question. I feel like it shows so much about personalities and journeys and experiences.
Okay.
So Josh, I want you to imagine you're hosting a dinner and you can invite 4 guests, dead or living, fictional, or historic real people. Josh, who are you bringing to dinner?
First, I'm bringing Eric Thomas.
Okay.
Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. Pandemic, I went through a lot of depression. I was dealing with a lot of just questioning about my identity, my creative space. Who am I? And Eric Thomas was really one of the leading voices in my life. Obviously, I was looking to God, but I feel like God also places people in your life to speak into your life, even if they don't personally know you.
Right.
He creates free videos and puts them on YouTube, right? And he always talks about how he puts YouTube videos online for free and his material's free, and no one really takes advantage of it the way they should. And so I went on his page and I listened to it every day. I still do. And I'll bring Eric Thomas because he's just a really motivating person. He gives me the gist to fight. He gives me just he makes me think about why I'm fighting. My
Mm-hmm.
why behind why I'm fighting is one of the main reasons, and why I'm pushing for success. Right, I'm doing this for the generations that come after me. Right, trailblazing, and I'm starting off with the legacy. And so the legacy is not necessarily the business. The legacy is passing on the, I would say, the uh, characteristic of being noble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I believe that's something that can be started. Starting a lineage of people who really care about people, who put people first, right? And are in a space where they want to serve others.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I would bring Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington was another voice who spoke into my life personally. He's always pushed me towards looking up. looking at God, putting God first. And he's also always been, I feel like his headspace is so different. I feel like he thinks very differently. I feel like his perspective is different. Oftentimes I might go through a situation and might say to myself, I think it's over. And then I listen to Denzel Washington and I'm like, nah, that was just a perspective. That's a feeling I had, but I don't have to operate off of those feelings.
Come on.
Yeah, because part of being a man is not always operating off of how we feel, but also just doing what's important, right? It's not going to always feel good and things of that nature. Third, now this was an interesting turn. I would invite Bishop Noel Jones.
That is interesting.
Now the reasoning behind that one, Bishop Noel Jones. So this is I'm looking at them in regards to not to what they do, but just the stamina in which they speak, and how they move as just men. Bishop Noel Jones is a leader voice currently. I listen to him every week,
Okay.
once or twice, and he is a powerful man of God. But then also at the same time, he's also in a space where he's humble. He wants to learn.
Yeah.
He wants to get what is AI about. He wants to understand technology. He's willing to pass the torch, but he's also willing to be in a space where he's just able to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't know everything, right? But he relies on the young people on the next generation after him to show him the way. Show him how to navigate these things, the new cultural norms, things like that. Like, we live in a very high tech society now.
True story. True story.
Yeah, we live in a very high tech society. Now, this fourth one is interesting. None of these guys are fashion designers, but yet I'm gonna invite these guys out. This last one, Steve Harvey.
Man, this is an interesting group of people.
I feel like these four people together will be my starting four. Steve Harvey always tells about his story about how he slept in a car. He used his last, I believe, $35 to go try out for being a comedian. Getting a shot, getting a deal. Just being able to be honest. This man makes thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. He's already well off in life, married, beautiful wife. He's just he's good, right? But he also gives us the raw side of things, where he's able to tell you, like, yo, success is not easy, right? And you got to choose what kind of hard you want. You want to be
That's fair.
You want to be successful, you're going to have to struggle, right? You want to be poor, you're still going to have to struggle, right? You want to be middle class, you still got to struggle. You just got to choose your hard, right? And then do the work behind it, right? People say what they want about people. I personally really have a heart for Steve Harvey. And the reason why I put him last is because I can relate with him, to an extent. I went through the shelter system as a kid.
Come on.
Me, my mom, and my brothers, all five of us, six of us all together, including my mom. So we know what it's like to struggle, right? I know what it's like to struggle. And so hearing somebody who really doesn't have to tell that story, right? Nobody has to know your success story. You could have just lied about it and give us some type of hoopla, right?
Right.
You tell us the real nitty gritty of, like, yo, I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to not have, but I also know what it's like to fight and use your last to get to where you need. And so I'm willing to use my last to get to where I need. I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to place myself around people who want to mentor me and just pour into me and show me what to do. I'm only 26 years old. I don't know it all. But I'm willing to place myself in rooms to be successful and to learn things. I feel like a lot of people look to hang around rich people to become rich. But I think money is great, but I want to have more of influence. I want, when I leave this world, when I get old and dry and die, right? I want people to remember Joshua Spence as a man of noble character and a man who loved people, who pushed positivity out, and he was also a patient person who was willing to walk alongside different walks of life for people. And I'm not going to say judge free, right? We have our own feelings towards people, so I would just keep it real.
Yeah. You're honest. You ain't out here lying to people.
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm gonna keep it real, So I always keep it real with people. But those are my 4 people.
All right.
Those are my 4 people. Eric Thomas, it's my guy. Denzel Washington, Bishop Noel Jones, and Steve Harvey. Those are my 4 interesting people.
It's gonna be a strong conversation. A lot of strong opinions in the room.
A lot of strong opinions. But I feel like they're all open to what you want to do. It's not a projection. Cool. They don't project. Yeah. They feed what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I dig that. So with what you're trying to do, man, how can people be able to purchase their own piece of clothing or candle or any of the apparel that you all have at Noblesse? How can people get connected?
Oh, we have an Etsy store. Let me give you we have an Etsy store for Noblesse Apparel. Let me give you the URL. So it's www.etsy.com/shop/Noblesse Apparel. NOBLESSEAPPAREL.
All right, cool. And I'll put that in the episode notes as well. Joshua Spence, pleasure having you on today, man.
Thank you, man. This is a really humbling process because I was nervous before getting on this call.
No, it's all good, man.
I don't know. I was nervous, but I'm glad that you opened this opportunity up to me, Chris. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you guys for listening in. I hope that you guys were inspired and that you guys got a vision of my vision. And so, I'm looking forward to talking more and looking forward to give you more of an update next time we speak.
100%. And of course, as always, you can hear this on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're also on YouTube and my Substack, baddestchaplain.substack.com. Please be sure to go ahead and subscribe to those things. Give us a like, give us a good rating, comments, all those good things, and share with your community as well. You can follow Baddest Chaplain at Baddest Chaplain on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm back on Twitter. I left for a few weeks.
Twitter?
I left for a few weeks. I was upset. I was very angry.
Why were you upset?
Because my beloved social media platform, Twitter, this man ruined it, and I was very angry with him. He doesn't know me. It's fine. I was very upset. But the NBA season's coming back.
Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. I don't care.
Listen, some of us are bandwagon. This is fine. It's cool.
No, I'm devout.
Yeah, like a diehard fan since they signed Bradley Beal. I respect it.
Not sure why they traded Chris Paul, but we're gonna talk about that one another time.
Yeah, I'm glad the Suns got a bench. I'll bring you back during the NBA season. We could talk about how badly the Suns will be doing in the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Hot take, spicy hot take. They have no answer for the Joker. But
totally disagree. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Actions speak louder than words.
This is why they have to play. But I am back on Twitter because the NBA season's here, and there's no better place on the internet, in my estimation, than NBA Twitter. Until Thread steps their game up, and we have an NBA Thread, but we don't have that yet. So on Twitter as well, or X at Baddest Chaplain, on Spill at Baddest Chaplain. I'm just around sharing the good news where I can. But much love to y'all. Be safe, be blessed. Until next time. Peace.
Thank you, guys.